good Monday morning to you all. We got another Watchmen update full of important information. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be just kind of disclosing kind of like how the last few days for my sickness has gone with this fever, whether it's a flu or COVID come back or something like that. I'll let you know kind of what went down with that, what I've been trying, what's been working, what hasn't been working. And of course, I'm sure you guys all will want to chime in on that too. It'll be a great time to get in the comments today with everyone's telling about what the best methods they have had with battling this flu season, as well as the cough, right? All right, so we also got a bunch of news items here before we get to all that. Air quality killing animals in Arkansas and impacting people as well. We got a report coming in from out that way. Trucking in and out and through Arizona getting very difficult due to state bird flu regulations. A lot of cleaning required on those trucks. Trump admin thumbs its nose, finally, at an activist judge who tried to block the use of Alien Enemies Act to remove terrorists from the Tren de Aragua from the U.S. soil. You'll like the ending on that one at least. Ceasefire talks between Trump and Putin are expected to take place this week. President Xi of China thumbs his nose at the European Union when he's been invited to a celebration of 50 years of relations between European Union and China. That's exactly the kind of thing that you'd skip, right? At the end, I will walk you through kind of what's been going on with me sickness-wise. I'm still recovering. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. This is stuff that you guys are reporting and is important to you guys, that you're sharing with each other. I appreciate all you guys who contribute to that. Make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment to get it to the right place. And we are really thankful to Genesis Gold Group. They help make this all possible by supporting this channel. And a lot of you guys have moved forward with them. And if you have, you've been doing pretty well. You've been doing better than the stock market, huh? And that doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon either. Now, that's not investment advice, but just writing on the wall with more uncertainty ahead. Precious metals are probably going to continue to go up, but the stock market doesn't like uncertainty, does it? So if you want to find out more about that, you have questions about that, or you want to find out what it would look like to do that, there'll be a link at the end of the video. All right, Trump and Putin are set to speak this week on a ceasefire proposal. White House envoy Steve Witkoff said that President Trump and Russian President Putin will likely speak this week as part of Trump's push to reach a 30-day ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. Now, there's been a lot of talk about whether that would happen or not, but Russia is pushing for a much longer peace treaty, not just a 30 days. They want that 30 days to be a stepping stone to a longer-term peace treaty, whereas the European Union and others seem to want to just get a 30-day pause so that Ukraine can reform its military and then continue the fighting, which Russia says is a non-starter. U.S. has flown alleged gang members to El Salvador, despite court blocking it. President Nayib Bukele said Sunday morning on X, this is the president of El Salvador, that the first 238 members of Tren de Aragua have arrived in El Salvador. Now, it's interesting because a court, a judge, an activist judge, and we'll get to why I say an activist judge, who clearly is out to get President Trump, and we will just detail a little bit of his history, which will show very clearly he has been part of the lawfare to persecute President Trump, including overseeing the FISA court, basically for the wiretaps on the Trump administration during the first, during the election, right? He said, I'm being wiretapped, and everyone's like, no, you're not being wiretapped, you're not being wiretapped. Then it came out, yeah, he was being wiretapped. So, yeah, crazy about that. And this was one of the judges that was doing it. He came out as soon as he heard about the use of the Alien Enemies Act, which allows presidents to take wartime powers to deport enemy aliens from U.S. soil without trial. And since Tren de Aragua has been labeled a foreign terrorist organization, they are considered enemy combatants. And under this law that has been upheld by the Supreme Court, this allow him to deport these criminals and war criminals out of the country immediately. But this judge, well below the Supreme Court, thinks that he can overrule the Supreme Court on this. Yeah, not going to go well, but it doesn't stop them. They just keep playing these games, and nobody ever holds them to account. I hear that articles of impeachment against him are going to be filed this week, but don't hold your breath because it doesn't mean anything. There's no way that we're going to get 70 some votes in the Senate to convict. Democrats will never vote to convict. Never. And so impeachment is just a non-starter unless the Republicans get a whole lot more seats in the Senate. Okay, Xi Jinping, president of China, rejected the EU, European Union, request to attend a summit. This is a Brussels summit marking 50 years of European Union and China diplomatic ties. But a lot of this has to do with the tension between Brussels and Beijing, and due to trade, as well as the tariffs and such that have been hitting Chinese companies and the Chinese country as a result of their sanctions on Russia and others, and also major EU tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. United States is not the one doing tariffs. The United States has not been doing tariffs, and everyone else has been playing tariffs for a long time. And that President Trump is only trying to bring us up to par, or even start to slowly bring us up to par against a bunch of these countries that have been abusing us for so long. This is from a Watchman. My best friend is a trucker. She said that when she went into Arizona, she had to do 4 truck washes, $160 a pop, just to make sure the trucks aren't bringing in any of the bird flu. Her employer doesn't want to pay for it, and she can't afford it. I see this causing massive trucking issues. It very well might. If you know more about that, let us know. Make sure you use the word update, of course. Gloria, eggs. Costco, local Costco in Pompano, Florida. No eggs at all. At BJ's, only regular kind and about 3/4 the regular supply. Wiki Up says, we live in a very rural area in Western Oregon and have our own 85-year-old water well. We also have a Culligan water softener to remove rust, and I've had our drinking water tested, and it tests very good. However, because of the water softener, the inside tap water runs high in salt. I have many indoor plants, and we garden heavily, but can only use the water directly from the well before the water softener for any of the plants. If I use the softened water from the tap, our plants will suffer and eventually die. I didn't realize this for many years when I was young. Thankfully, age and wisdom took over, and I figured out the problem. Some of your viewers might have the same situation. So be aware of that water softeners do tend to add a lot of salt to the water. Just be really conscious about the water that you're using on your plants and your animals, because just because it doesn't kill you instantly doesn't mean it won't kill your plants. And that's what's okay for you. What you can tolerate is sometimes very different than what your plants can tolerate. I remember when I was looking into microgreens, I actually got all the stuff from microgreens. I was getting into it. I really looked into it, and one of the things that they said was do not use tap water. Or if you do use tap water, make sure you have time for it to off gas before you use the water for your plants, because otherwise it's going to kill the microgreens. People know this stuff, right? And I know some of you guys are going to be like, yeah, I've been using it for a long time and haven't had any problems. I don't know the chemical makeup of your tap water. I just know that a lot of people's tap water is very bad for their plants. Highlander says, Frankfort, Kentucky, I shared a government job opening on a community help page. The position is full-time, comes with benefits, starts at $30K a year. A 5% raise after 6 months, has a lot of upward mobility opportunities, requires no experience and only a high school diploma. People mocked it and me for posting it. Meanwhile, on that page, there are at least 4 others, specifically for the Frankfurt section, are begging for food. Some say that they don't even have enough gas money to pick up free food. The food pantries are overwhelmed. When you post even a small food box, there are at least a dozen requests for it on the first day, usually more. There's a great disconnect between employers willing to pay a living wage and people who can't make ends meet, being willing to start at the bottom and work their way up. Unfortunately, that's the truth. I think it's Dave Ramsey that said, if you want to be wealthy or you want to be secure and wealthy in the United States, you only have to follow a few rules. Finish high school, get married and stay married, get a job, get a full-time job and just work. And then the other one was don't go into debt. And if you do those 4 things, you will get ahead. It's just, it's how it works. Patty says, that's just running the numbers. You can go look up Dave Ramsey on that one and see what he's saying about that and where he gets those numbers from and his information. Patty in Bullhead City, Arizona. Sam's very low on sugar, no large sacks. Maybe the trucks can't get through because they have to be washed 4 times to get into the state. Very low on flour. They were not large containers either, and I was not impressed with the cost of either one of those items when I looked. Joyce, Kroger here in Washington State has removed prices from their shelves for eggs. Just remove the prices. I asked an employee, and he said we're getting so little of them each time they come in that the prices were removed. They did have a label for grade B eggs for $4.99. That disappeared also. While in Costco, I got 60 count for $14.49, but limits on the eggs there at Costco. And of course, we've been hearing a lot of people saying that Costco's are usually out of eggs anyway. Amanda, this is an important one for Arkansas. Hazardous air quality in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The AGI this morning was 656, which is off the charts. Our sweet goat, Winter, went into active labor this morning. Her and the baby did not make it. She was healthy and showed no warning signs of complications yesterday. The vet said that the cause of death was suffocation. My family and I are devastated and worried for our other animals, while we are also suffering side effects from the poor air quality ourselves. We are getting no directions from the local weather stations or authorities apart from staying inside, which is not an option for those of us who are farm. Even if bugging out was an option, the closest place that has better air quality is 2 states away. And most of those places are struggling with the aftermath of severe storms, tornadoes, and wildfire fires. Please pray for us, and thank you all for all that you do and the Watchmen do. This channel helps me feel more prepared and less alone, especially during these difficult times. Our hearts go out with you, Amanda, and your family, and all your neighbors that are struggling through this as well. If you're a praying person, please add them to your prayer list. That is Amanda, and that is in Fayetteville, no S in there, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Aliyah in northern Utah. Our local feed stores are limit 6 on their chicks and usually sell out within a couple of hours. If not, they are sold out by the end of the day. Jennifer says, I'm in North Carolina, no power, no chicks at my Tractor Supply in North Carolina. Yeah, we lost power here very temporarily ourselves here in Pennsylvania, and there are power outages across the country right now. Where I am, I actually have a very good connection, so I'm not too far away from the hospital, so I usually don't lose power for very long. John says, Fleet Farm Central, Wisconsin. Weekly chick supply of 400 birds sold out within 1.5 hours this week. Similar results from 2 other stores in the region. Might take a crack at trying to hatch our own roadside eggs. Vanna says, for the first time I saw egg shortages here in southern Indiana. This is from Watchmen. My best friend is a long-haul truck driver. She went through... did I already do that one? I think we already did that one. No, we did not. Long-haul truck driver to deliver a load going through Arizona. She had to wash her truck upon entry of the state due to bird flu. Big rig truck washes run about $160, and then she had to wash it again 2 more times, and then again at her destination. She asked the employer if they would be paying all of the truck washes, and they said that they would have to talk to the higher-ups. She said she can't afford those truck washes, and neither can the company. She said if this policy goes to every state, we're going to see very empty shelves due to the bird flu. Trucking companies can't eat the costs, and neither can the drivers. Pray this doesn't happen. Lisa says, I went to Middlefield, Ohio, small town, yesterday for my shopping run. The Giant Eagle grocery store had sparse canned vegetable aisle and gaps in most of the food aisles except the snack area. But a sports SUV in the parking lot had all 4 tires stolen. It was left on pylon-like jacks. The whole store is buzzing with the news in daylight. Apparently 2 guys came and took the 4 tires in about 4 minutes. Getting rough out there. All right, and let's talk about my health. Some of you guys concerned about that, and also some of you guys just want to hear ideas too about how to kind of treat some of these things. So I'm not sure if I came down with the COVID or whether I came down with flu or one of the flus, or I think there's a couple of them going around, or maybe I got hit with multiples of them. I don't know, but I was getting real bad fever, and I couldn't stay warm. I was shivering and shaking, and my forehead was burning up. So I finally cracked into my supply of Tolavid. Tolavid is Gromwell root. You can Google that and look into the Tolavid and Gromwell root. They actually did a scientific study on it. They actually paid for the scientific study to see how it affected the cough, COVID, and other things. And let's just say it's like vitamin I, but a lot more powerful in that same mechanism. And it's a natural root that comes from China. The problem is you can't really get it here in the U.S. very easily. You can get it for some cosmetics, but getting food grade stuff is hard to get. Anyway, Tolavid's kind of expensive, but in a pinch, you need it, right? So I started taking a little Tolavid, and the fever broke, and I started to get better. I stopped taking Tolavid, and then the fever came back. So eventually I took Tolavid again, and the fever broke again, and then it came back again, and I am back on the third round. I am feeling better again, and I'm going to keep taking a little bit of Tolavid just to make sure it doesn't keep going. But staying hydrated, lots of water, lots of Gatorade. I use those. They have those little packets of 0-calorie Gatorade that you can put in a bottle of water like this. So having 1 bottle of Gatorade, 1 bottle of water, and making sure you're getting those electrolytes as well as the water to stay hydrated, because that's a really big thing. I'm just sweating so much. So I highly recommend making sure you have a stockpile of electrolytes of some form, however you want to do that. There's powdered form, there's a drink form. Just if you need to stay hydrated, friends, if you know how to do IVs and you want to do IVs, then cool. But for the rest of us who aren't about poking stuff into people, we're going to be probably going with the oral route of Gatorade or something else like that. And just buying Gatorade flat out is kind of expensive. So getting the powdered form is a little better. But I don't like the sugar. I don't think the sugar is really great for when you're sick. So those are also great for travel too. But okay, so Tolavid's expensive and it's hard to get nowadays for some reason. It's a supplement, and they now have there's a knockoff version now that's half the price, less than half the price, because Tolavid actually became more expensive instead of less expensive, called Tolo 19, and it has Gromwell root in there in their capsules. They're a supplement. If you want to go directly to the source, I have been trying to find powder that is food quality. food grade. The problem with that is a lot of them are made for cosmetics, and they strip a lot of the Cromwell root stuff out of there with harsher chemicals that probably aren't healthy to be ingested. So make sure you get food grade powder. I wasn't able to find any. So what I have, I'll post down the pinned comment down below, Tallow 19, the capsules, and then there's unground roots. You can get the actual raw roots. You're going to have to grind them yourself. But if you got a mortar and pestle, you're good. If you got a coffee grinder, you can use that. And it might even get a little nice taste of coffee. For the unground roots, I've been told that it's very hydrophobic. So if you don't have something in there to bind it to your stomach, it may just go right through you. So I'd suggest probably doing like a tea if you can. I don't know about these things. If you have more expertise on this, do let me know down in the comments down below. But I would recommend, just to be safe, to do a tea, brew it up yourself, grind it up real good, and then brew it in a tea, and then drink that, and that should probably give you the benefits of that. But all right, that's kind of what I've experienced over the last couple of days. It's been rough. 3 rounds of shivering and just being in bed constantly. I'm hardly up here even right now. I need to go back to bed, but my fever is gone and I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm still exhausted. All right, friends, if you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right there. If you want to check out Tallow 19 or the Cromwell root down there in the pinned comment. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.